Jacques, Laurent, Jacques. We're going to prepare a recipe called bonbons de foie gras candies. So for this dish, we'll first need a lobe of foie gras weighing roughly 600 grams. Fresh foie gras, of course. We'll need a bottle of bagnols, some balsamic vinegar, grilled sesame oil, or if you haven't got that, some walnut oil, some roquette salad, a little flour, some sesame seeds, a knob of butter, several vanilla pods, a few herbs, chervil and chives, 2 or 3 onions, 2 or 3 potatoes, and 2 pears. So we've peeled the pears and we'll cut them up into irregular sized pieces because we'll be using them to make a compote.
In the meantime, I'm going to chop the onions.
So you take a vanilla pod, you slice it lengthways, and then you remove the tiny seeds inside. And this will release the aroma of the vanilla.
Well, I've cut up the onions. I'm going to take a knob of butter, put it in my saucepan, and then I'm going to cook the onions for a good half hour. I have to stir frequently, and then I'll get a good onion fondue, into which I'll stir in the balsamic vinegar at the last moment, and I'll season it. I'll start the cooking process.
So I put my pears into the vanilla in a hollow container. I add a knob of butter, a little sugar, and then I add a little water and allow it to gently form a compote. Now we're going to make the caramel with the bagnols wine. So you take some bagnols wine, you pour the whole bottle directly into a saucepan, and you reduce it until you get a syrupy caramel liquid.
In the meantime, I take my foie gras and cut into my bonbons. I approach the lobe of foie gras from the meatier side. I cut out pieces about 30 to 40 grams, then I cover them in flour and roll them by hand to obtain a little ball. I've peeled the potato and washed it, and I'm going to grate it to obtain strings. Now we have our potato strings, and I'm going to roll these around the foie gras. So I take the foie gras, catch a string, and I make balls out of it.
The foie gras has to be completely wrapped in potato.
Then I place 2 candies in a frying spider, and I fry them for 3 minutes at 100 to 110 degrees. There. You have to be beside them all the time and stir them a little. And this is the result, nicely grilled and fairly round. So Jacques is going to season the salad with roasted sesame oil and a hint of balsamic vinegar. Meanwhile, I'll be moving on to the garnishing. So with the pear compote that I made earlier with the vanilla pod, we have a puree with which I'm going to make 2 quenelles, 1 on either side of the plate. And then add the candied onions in balsamic vinegar, the salad in the center, and the litre of reduced bagnols wine that we've already turned into a syrup, and I'll decorate all around the plate.
And I'm going to place the bonbons on the candied onions.
A bit of chervil and some chives.
So here are the foie gras bonbons with candied onions and bagnols caramel. I suggest a fine wine from Pourcel at Saint-Drézery in the Languedoc, 1999 vintage. This is a very good wine, made from Syrah and Grenache grapes, matured in the barrel. It has lots of substance. It's quite explosive. It will go very well with the foie gras, and particularly the bagnole syrup.